Start to notice your breath. And breath is an interesting thing because it happens without us having to do anything, but we also have control of it. As you start to pay attention to your breath, you may notice that your breath changes. Maybe it gets a little bit deeper, longer, louder. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. So just let whatever's happening happen. And we're going to start to breathe together. So with your lips closed, slowly start to inhale through your nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then open your mouth and let it go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Close your lips and inhale through your nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your mouth, let it go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One last time. Inhale slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let it go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. With your lips closed, breathe in and out through your nose. Take your palms together in prayer in front of your heart. Rest your thumbs on your chest, make a connection there. And take a couple of breaths to set an intention for your practice. The easiest way for me to explain what an intention is it's like a address you plug into your maps, your GPS. Where do you want your attention to go? Open your eyes. Inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. Bring your palms together to touch overhead, and then exhale, bring your hands down through the center channel of your body. Inhale, reach your hands out and up. Press the palms together. Exhale, bring the hands past the face, the throat, back down to the heart. Full circle. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your hands up one more time. And then take your left hand to the floor beside your left hip. Keep your right hand up and start to tilt over to your left side. Keep pressing your right hip down into the floor. When you find your limit, when you find that point where it's getting a little bit difficult to breathe, stay there and then use more of your breath into your right side body to create a deeper stretch. And then can you soften through your left side more? One more breath. Use your next inhale to come back through center. Left hand reaches up, right hand down to the floor, and then over you go to the right side. You might find you can get a little bit deeper on this side. Notice that. When you find your stopping point, stay there and breathe. Some might call that a boundary. Stay at your boundary. One more breath. And then inhale back to center. Reach your hands up towards the sky. Press your palms together. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Good. So you can release your hands and come onto all fours. We're going to find a child's pose. Come onto your hands and your knees and take your hips back towards your heels. Your knees can either be close together or they can be wide. It's whatever feels best for you. And then lower your forehead to the floor. Arms either reach out towards the top edge of your mat, or you can take your arms down alongside your legs with the palms up. This is our home base. Child's pose is the place that you can go during our practice at any point when you need a rest. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Take one more breath here. And then inhale, come forward into a tabletop position. Take your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. We'll start to move through cat and cow right away. Inhale, press your belly down, lift your heart, lift your face. Exhale, round your back, chin to your chest. Inhale, coming back into that low C curve in the back. Heart lifts. Exhale, round your back, chin to your chest. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Keep moving back and forth on the cadence of your breath, using the entire length of your breath to complete the movement, which means we aren't rushing this at all. It's not a competition of how many cat-cows you can get in. Take your time. Let this be an exploration of your spine, of your hips, of your belly, your shoulders. And maybe you even start to incorporate some other movements to get into the legs, the arms, the face, the neck. We'll take about 5 more breaths here. See what you can see. Sometimes people feel as if they can't move around in this. Like maybe try to stretch your arms out, your legs out, explore the entire space of your mat. If you feel like getting big, let yourself get big. I'm going to take one more breath here. And then come back to a neutral spine, which means the crown of the head is reaching forward, the tailbone is back. Begin to draw the belly button up towards the spine. And then tuck your toes under. Press your palms firmly into the floor and lift your knees just 2 inches off of the ground. Yes, we're doing this again, Amber. We did this last week, but you got it. So just the balls of the feet are on the floor and the hands are on the floor, and you're pressing the floor away from you. So you're really starting to feel the upper back spread. The arms are engaged. They're squeezing in towards one another. The belly is working here. We're starting to warm up the whole front side of the body. And while you're doing this, while it's starting to get hard, try your best to continue to breathe. Take one more breath here. And then slowly send your hips back, downward facing dog. Once you get into downward dog, move this around, pedal out the heels, wag your tail like Lauren's cute little dog over there. Shake out your head. Maybe flutter your lips to release some tension from the face, or just to be silly. Bend your elbows a couple of times. Wake up the body. Good morning. And slow that movement down and start to come into stillness. If your hamstrings are feeling really tight, you can always bend your knees here. Focus your attention on your breath. Can you get your breath into the back of the ribs? Can you get your breath into your belly? Take one more breath here. And then look forward, lift your heels, bend your knees, and walk with intention to the top of your mat. With your feet hips distance apart, hang in a ragdoll forward fold. The arms can hang off the shoulders, or you can wrap the forearms around one another, grab for opposite elbow points. Really let it all hang out here. No tension in the face and the shoulders. Let the belly hang for now. You might even add a sway here, left to right. As the torso is releasing, as it's hanging, the feet are alive. So the feet are pressing down into the floor firmly to support you. You might even feel the calf muscles engage here. Take one more breath. And then release the arms. Heel toe your feet closer together. They might touch, they might not. Bring your hands to the fronts of your shins or the tops of your thighs and lift your chest parallel to the floor. Halfway lift is what I'll call this. And then exhale, forward fold. We'll do that 2 more times to get familiar with it. Halfway lift, hands to your shins or your thighs. Press your legs back into your hands and then exhale, fold forward. Last time, inhale, press the hands into the legs into the hands, engage the core, and then exhale, forward fold. With strong legs and a long spine, stand up, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale your hands to your heart center. All right, we're gonna start to move, build some heat. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Feel free to bend the knees here if you need. Halfway lift on your inhale breath. Bend your knees, plant your hands into the floor, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Lower your right knee down, long spine. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky, low lunge. Exhale, lower your hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes under, lift your right knee and step your right foot to meet your left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step your left foot back. Lower your left knee down. Press into your right foot, reach your hands to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, lower your hands back down. Step your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands into the floor, step both feet back. Coming into a plank position here, you can lower your knees if you would like, lower all the way down to the floor with control. Good. Untuck your toes, press the tops of the feet into the floor. Inhale, lift your heart, low cobra. Exhale, lower your heart down. Tuck your toes under, engage your legs, knees lifting off of the floor, press up through modified or high plank. And then send your hips back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. And a deeper breath out. And then look forward, bend your knees, get to the top of your mat as you exhale. Halfway lift on your inhale breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, long spine, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale your hands to your heart center. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach your hands up. Press your feet into the floor, strong legs. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back. Left knee to the floor. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, lower your hands back down, step your left foot to meet your right. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale and fold. Right foot steps back, right knee down. Low lunge, inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Right foot to meet the left. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Plant both hands down, step both feet back, plank position. On your inhale, you're at the top of your plank. As you exhale, lower with control, using the entire length of the breath to get to the floor. As you inhale, lift your heart, low cobra, or maybe upward dog if that's in your practice. Exhale, lower your heart back down. Tuck your toes under, engage your legs, and then press the floor away from you. Lift up through modified plank or high plank, and then draw your hips back, downward facing dog. One breath here. Now look forward, get to the top of your mat as you exhale, walk, or maybe hop. Halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step both feet back, come back into your plank. Lower with control all the way down as you exhale. Inhale, heart lifts, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lower the heart down, tuck your toes under, engage your legs, press up slowly away from the floor, and draw your hips back, downward facing dog. Nice, going Amber, woo! You got it. Stay here, take a deep breath in, and a deeper breath out. Now step your right foot towards your right thumb. Lower your left knee to the floor, inhale, low lunge, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes under, step your right foot to meet your left, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to your left thumb. Lower your right knee down, low lunge, inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, lower your hands to the floor. Left foot to meet the right, downward facing dog. Look forward, lift your heels, bend your knees, walk or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Good. Now bring your feet closer together, get them as close as you can. Start to bend your knees and sit your hips back as if you were sitting in a chair. Utkatasana. Keep lifting your heart. I love that smile when you sit in chair pose. You really need that sometimes in this pose. It's helpful. I used to have a student who would like put her thumbs up. She did this to help herself. Do whatever you got to do to be here, okay? Make it fun. Keep lifting your heart. Peel your heart up away from your thighs. And I know that's really difficult, but try to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Okay, now you can keep your hands here at your heart, or maybe if you choose, reach your hands up towards the sky. And that is a choice that you make. Yoga is all about consent. So if your yes is a yes, then go for it. If your yes is a no, then do not go for it. Take one more breath. And then forward fold, let it go. Halfway lift on your inhale. Bend your knees, plant your hands into the floor, and step your right foot to the back of your mat. This time you can make that choice to either drop your knee or keep your knee lifted, press into your left foot, bring your shoulders over your hips, hands reach up to the sky. So you're either coming into a high lunge or a low lunge with your back knee down. Good. We're gonna spend a little bit more time here for this round. I want you to keep sending your left shin forward and press the back of your right thigh up towards the ceiling. And then, here's the kicker, squeeze your inner thighs together so that you're feeling your pelvic floor engage. Yeah. Like, what the heck is that? The Kegel, okay? Squeeze your inner thighs together, and then from that point, from that ball of energy, you're lengthening out from the crown of your head. Get longer. Take one more breath here. And then lower your hands to the floor. You're gonna keep that back knee lifted and step your left foot to meet your right, downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, lift your heels up really high. Get onto the balls of your feet. And then exhale, melt your heels down towards the floor. It's okay to have a bend in the knees here. Inhale, lift your heels really high. Try to get onto the tippy toes. And then exhale, melt your heels down, send your hips back. Inhale, lift your heels high. And then exhale, press your heels down. Good. Step your left foot forward towards your left thumb. Step your right foot to meet your left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, as your hands come to your heart, bend your knees, sit your hips back, Utkatasana, chair pose. The heart is going to want to come down, the face is going to want to come down. Keep lifting the heart, keep lifting the face. Look and let yourself be seen. Hands can stay at the heart, or maybe the arms reach up to the sky if that feels like it's serving this pose for you. Take one more breath. And then forward fold, let it go. Hands to your shins, halfway lift. Plant your hands to the floor, step your left foot back this time. And either choose to drop the knee or keep the knee lifted, press into your right foot, bring your shoulders over your hips, hands to the sky. Lunge. All right, so we have the right shin now pressing forward, the left thigh lifting up. We're squeezing the inner thighs together as if they're wanting to give each other a big hug. Engage the belly, draw the belly in, and squeeze the outer hips in towards one another. And you're like, what else can I do in this? Yeah, squeeze it in. But then also find a place to soften. Like the shoulders don't need to squeeze. We can relax those. We can relax the jaw. We can relax the face. Even as we're doing like all of this work, we can still find some space to soften. Good. One more deep breath. And lower your hands to the floor. Back knee lifts, step your right foot to meet your left, downward facing dog. Bring your feet closer together. Lift your heels and start to tilt your heels over to the right. Keep pressing your left hand into the floor though. So we're not coming into like a side lunge. We're just tilting the heels enough to start to feel this opening through the left side body. Press the left hand into the floor. Okay. And maybe even bend your right knee a little bit here. Good. And then inhale, lift your heels back through center and take them over to the left side. Press your right hand firmly into the floor. And bring your heels back to center. Step your right foot forward. And then your left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale your hands to heart center. Bring your hands to your hips and bring your feet hips distance apart. Shift your weight into your right foot and start to lift just your left heel off of the floor. This is just a little study of the foot and where you can bring your mind into your foot. So it's just the heel. Now, can you lift the ball of the left foot off the floor? Keep the toes down. Keep the toes down for now. So it's just like a little sassy leg. And then rotate on the tip of your toes. Rotate the left knee out to the left and then back forward. Out to the left and then back forward. So starting to feel like the mobility of the leg and the hip. Okay, so just opening that up. And then the next time you're turning your left knee out, you're going to keep it there and notice if the right hip is coming forward. Can you bring your right hip back as you take your left knee out to the left? The knee's going to stay to the left. Okay. With the knee out to the left, can you lift your left foot off of the floor and bring your knee in line with your hip? Yep, okay. So the knee is bent and just going out to the left. Okay, perfect. Now notice your right hip, is it wanting to come forward? Can you pull your right hip back, but keep pushing the inner edge of your left knee back? Perfect. And you lift your left knee up a little bit higher. Yeah. Now place your left foot to the inside of your right leg, above or below your knee. Good. Awesome. This is tree pose, Vrikshasana. Really press your right heel, or your left heel into your right leg back into your heel. And your hands can be at your hips, they can be at your heart, they can be up towards the sky. They can be in whatever configuration feels most true to your heart. And then when you find your shape, if you're feeling like, hey, I got this balance thing down, close your eyes. Good. Good. Take one more breath. And with your hands back to your hips, lift your leg, your foot off of your leg, left knee out to the left again, and then left knee forward towards the front of your mat. That leg is still lifted. Take a deep breath in here, hands to the hips. And then as you exhale, start to send your left leg back. Send your left leg back. Send your left leg back. Keep stretching your left heel behind you. The chest is coming forward so that you're creating a T shape with the body. Drop that left hip down. And then step your left foot to the back of your mat. Reach your hands up to the sky. You're more than welcome to drop the back knee. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower your hands to the floor. Step your front foot to meet your back foot. Plank position. Deep breath in to the top of plank. Exhale, lower down with control all the way to the floor. As you inhale, lift your heart. As you exhale, lower your heart. Tuck your toes, engage your legs, nice and slow, press up from the floor. That's the harder part. Getting down is easy, it's coming up. That's the hardest part. And then send your hips back, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here to reset. And if this was really hard for you, if it kind of like took you out of your body and more into like the anxiety mind, acknowledge that. Maybe send yourself some positive affirmations, because we do have a second side. We're going to be doing that again. Sometimes the second side is easier when you know what's coming, though. All right, look forward, lift your heels, bend your knees, walk or hop to the top of your mat as you exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, your hands to heart center. Bring your hands to your hips, bring your feet hips distance apart. Shift your weight into your left leg, lift your right heel. And this is a good time too to just like figure out where your boundary is. Like if you're struggling with balance, you might stay here. Okay, with the ball of the foot down. Maybe you can take the ball of the foot away from the floor and just have the tippy toes on the floor. And that's a place that you stay. And then start to swivel that left leg out to, or excuse me, the right leg out to the right and then back towards the front of your mat. Notice here how this side feels compared to that first side. Most of the time it's these like small, subtle movements that give us the most information about our bodies. And the next time your knee is out to the right, you'll keep it there. You can stay here, keep pulling that left hip back, or you can take your left or your right foot up off of the floor, try to bring your knee in line with your hip. Good. Good. So if you've taken your foot off the floor, you have your knee lifted, did you stop before it got hard? Can you lift your knee up a little bit higher? Just to challenge yourself, just to see like what you can do in this body this morning. Good. Keep pulling that left hip back. The right leg is going to want to tilt the hips over to the right. Keep drawing your left hip back. Good. And then place your right foot to the inside of your left leg. Find your tree pose today. Second side, hands to the hips, to the heart, up towards the sky. On your belly, I love that. Whatever helps you feel most grounded. When you find your shape, take a couple of breaths, either with your eyes closed or your eyes open. We got one more breath here. Blink the eyes open if they're closed, hands to the hips. Take your right knee out to the right again, and then back towards the front of your mat. Take an inhale breath here, and then exhale, start to send your right leg behind you as your chest comes forward. Can you bring your right hip in line with your left hip more? Meaning that the right hip, the front of the right hip is moving down towards the floor. And then lengthen out through the crown of your head. Use some of that core strength to keep your chest open. This is warrior 3. And then step your right foot to the back of your mat. Reach your hands up towards the sky. High lunge. Lower your hands down to the floor. Step your left foot to meet your right, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here, either moving around or just staying in stillness. This is a good time to come into child's pose if you're looking for that option. Take one more breath. And then we'll all lower our knees down and find a tabletop position. Drop your hips to either side to swing your legs around and sit on your booty. Just come to a seat. Bring your feet to the floor. I'll join you for this one. Knees are bent, feet to the floor. Take your hands behind your thighs. Start to lift through the crown of your head. Draw your belly in. And then lean back just enough to start to feel your core activate. Not so much that you're like, I want to get out of this, but right to your edge. Okay? And you can either keep your hands to the backs of your thighs, or you can take your hands behind you. You can also bring your hands forward, or you can bring your hands up. Okay? Feet can either stay on the floor, or maybe you lean back a little bit more and start to lift your shins parallel to the ceiling. You can also choose to lengthen your legs out. So there are a lot of different choices here to make. There are a lot of different ways that you can shape the body here. And just because you get into one shape doesn't mean you can't change it up, because our edge, our boundary is flexible most of the time. Like sometimes we have a little bit more to give. Sometimes we don't, and we need to back out. So take a rest when you need to. If you feel some sort of burst of energy, or you want to see just like what your body can do, maybe you lengthen your legs for a moment. Maybe you reach your hands up, but you never know until you try. So keep listening to your body. Watch your edge as it shifts, as it changes. Be curious. Beautiful. We're going to take one more breath here. And you can either choose cheese. Want some cheese. You can either choose to drop your feet here or keep them lifted. You'll take your hands to your heart center. Inhale, sit up tall. And then exhale, start to turn to the right. Hands can either stay at the heart, or maybe you open the arms up as if you were giving somebody a big hug. Hold it there. Keep twisting, keep lifting the heart. And then hands back to center. Turn your chest to center and then over to the left. Twist your chest to the left. Hands can stay at the heart, or maybe you open your arms up. Breathe. All right, hands back to your heart center. Turn your chest forward. Cross your legs. Sit up tall. If you would like, close your eyes or keep them open. Nice and soft, like nothing even happened. This is usually the moment when like people are walking by a yoga class and they just see everybody sitting. Like, oh yeah, yoga's so easy. You just missed all of that other stuff. Good. All right, go ahead and make your way down to the floor. Lie on your back. You can hug your knees into your chest. Take your hands to the front of your knees. Give your knees a little squeeze. And if it feels good, rock left to right across your lower back. Lower your feet to the floor, hips distance apart, and scoot your heels in as close to your butt as you can get them. Some people like to tickle the backs of their heels just to make sure that that's happening. Toes point straight ahead, so they're at 12 o'clock. Heels right behind the toes. Arms alongside your body with the palms down. Press the arms down into the floor. You're already starting to feel the arms, the shoulders engage, the chest engage. Press your heels into the floor, tuck your tailbone under. And then as you exhale, start to lift your hips off of the ground, lift your lower back off of the ground. The knees are gonna wanna open up. Can you keep them hips distance apart? If it's available for your shoulders, you might scoot your shoulders more underneath your chest. Maybe even clasping your hands underneath your back and pressing the fists into the floor. But if that is not something that's working for your body, it's all good, because we all get gold stars here. Doesn't really matter. Yoga is about paying attention, not about the postures, really. I mean, people think you use your body to get into the postures, but in actuality, you're using the postures to get into your body. That makes sense. Yeah. Take one more breath here. And clasp your hands if you're clasping them. To get out of this, let's lift the heels, reach the arms up overhead. So not to the ceiling, but overhead, like towards your head. And then nice and slow, roll down the length of your spine until your hips hit last. Good. Once your pelvis is on the floor, you can either bring your feet together and let your knees open up, or maybe you have your feet about as wide as your mat and let your knees touch. Whatever feels best for your hips right now. We'll do that one more time. Bridge pose, feet hips distance apart. Arms along your sides to start. First, start by pressing your arms into the floor, press your heels into the floor, and then lift your hips up. A lot of the attention is usually placed on the back body here. I want you to notice your core. Can you engage your core a little bit more to support the work of your lower back and of your glutes? We got 2 more breaths here. How do you want to spend your time? Where do you want to direct your attention? And then release your hands, lift your heels, reach your arms overhead, roll down the length of your spine one piece at a time. And take the opposite of what you did last time. So if you had your knees opened up, bring your knees together to touch. Your knees were touching, open them up. Arms can stay overhead, or you can place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Bring your knees back together if they're opened up. We'll hug the knees into the chest. Keep your right knee squeezed in. Lower your left leg to the floor. Place the bottom of your right foot to the top of your left thigh. Reach your right arm out to the right, T position. And then start to twist, right knee over to the left. Keep the right shoulder blade down on the floor as much as you can. And your gaze can be up at the sky, or it can be over to your right hand. Usually in a class, everybody will be lined up in a row, right? So I'll say something along the lines of look over to the right and consider your neighbor on the right. Since there's nobody there, maybe there's just somebody that you would like to consider right now. Just give them a thought. Send them some love. Who's lying right next to you on your right side? Inhale, come back to center. Your right knee on top of your right hip. And then switch legs, nice and slow. Give your left knee a squeeze. Place the bottom of your left foot to the top of your right thigh. Left arm out to the left. Exhale, twist. Who's lying on your left side? Send them some love. Take one more breath here. And roll back to center. Bring both knees back into your chest. Open your knees wide so that they're closer towards the armpits. Point your heels to the sky and grab the outer or inner edges of your feet, your ankles, your calves. Let your spine press down into the floor, and maybe you rock left to right across your spine, across your back. Release tension in your neck. Let the head roll with the hips. It's like you're a lighter in a concert. Nice and slow, left to right. Maybe you play with stretching out one leg at a time or both at the same time. Send your breath deep into your hips. I'm going to open it up to you. What do you need before you get into Savasana? Any last poses you want to take, you can take them now. We'll have about a minute to do what we need to do. Or you can stay in happy baby pose. Or if you're ready for Savasana, set yourself up for that. Take about 20 more seconds to finish up whatever it is we're doing. Right, you can start to make your way to your final posture. Shavasana, corpse pose. Lengthen the legs out long, arms along your sides with the palms up, or maybe the hands placed somewhere on your body. Scoot your shoulders away from your ears. Limbs are heavy. The belly is soft. Relax the skin. Relax your muscles, your ligaments, your tendons. Relax around and within the organs. Let the bones be heavy. Soften around the eyes and the mouth. Relax the forehead. Let it all go. And take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and let it go. You might blink your eyes open. You might introduce some movement into your hands and your feet. You can take a big stretch. Arms reach overhead, toes stretch the opposite way. And just let yourself be here right now, lying on the floor. No pressure to do anything, but lie there to relax. You can stay on your back or roll to either side and rest in the fetal position, using your bottom arm as a pillow for your head. While you're here, you can set a new intention for the rest of your day. Where do you want to go? How do you want to use your time? How do you want to use your precious energy? How do you want to walk through the world? Then on your next inhale, begin to make your way back into a comfortable seat. We'll end where we began. Sit up tall, take your hands to your heart center. Bow your chin in towards your chest. Acknowledge the teacher within us. We acknowledge all of our teachers on the path, those that we have met and those who are coming. And thank you so much for being my teachers in all the different ways you are. I lift my hands to my third eye center. I bow to you in love, honor, and respect. The love and the light within me sees the love and the light within you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ilana.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody have a great
Thanks
day.
for being here. Have a great day. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. And hopefully I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Love you.
Bye. See you soon. Love you.